The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts, Julian, Luke, and Kevin Newell, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact us live by telephone, 905-725-1907. Toll free in North America, 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide, 1-866-656-5477. Email us, realityradio101 at yahoo.com. And now, your hosts of Canadian Cigar Scene, Kevin Newell and Julian Luke.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Canadian Cigar Scene. Sitting here beside me is the incomparable Jew.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Good to be back for another thrilling episode.
Absolutely, absolutely. A little bit of banter, just the two of us here tonight. It's kind of cool. It's just sort of yucking it up. We got some good stuff to talk about tonight. Tonight is our
travel show, man, because people may not think it, but it's only 10 weeks to Christmas, and right after Christmas comes the time of year when the cigar world has all of its big travel shows and
festivals and
if you don't get in early and get your flights booked, like, it just becomes cost prohibitive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on over the even November, December there's a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be pretty cool. We'll go through all that stuff in a bit here. What do we do this for, Jew?
This is all about education. We're trying to let people all across Canada and our listeners internationally know what's happening on the Canadian cigar scene and tell them a little bit about what makes this industry happen.
Education, that's what it's all about. Looking over our, Gary's good enough to send us our listenership from last week, and hey, we picked up some new countries again.
Tell me.
Honduras.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some people in Honduras listening, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is really cool.
It's like going back to the mothership.
That's right. Yeah, we've been there a few times and love the country. It's fantastic. Macedonia?
I'm not even sure where Macedonia is.
I can pronounce it. And we have some people in Serbia as well listening in. So good on you, folks. I'm glad you tuned in, and thanks very much for your support. We really appreciate it. So basically, we've done quite a bit of travel. We've been pretty lucky to be able to.
We've been lucky.
This year was just a complete shit show of travel. We did Cuba on a personal holiday. We did Nicaragua, AJ Fernandez. We did
Drew Estate,
Cigar
Nicaragua,
Safari.
Hoya.
We did the Hoya tour as well. We also did Dominican. We went to
General Cigar.
Yeah, General Cigar. Where was that? Santiago. Yeah, where we missed our freaking flight. Remember that?
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ, what a shit show that was. But you know what? All travel can't be glamorous, right?
No, and if there's one thing I learned that it's really helpful to get some advice from people that have been to these countries, because, man, it can make your life a whole lot easier. And I think after where we've been, I think I know what would be my sort of first picks for travel and where I'd sort of put, second on the list. And
which one was your favorite?
Just for the sheer attention to detail, I have to say that the Drew Estate trip was very well done. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to a feeling of being with family, it'd be a toss-up between Perdomo and Mombacho.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What about you?
Well, that first time we went to, our first toe in the water was Nicaragua to Granada, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
to,
was. No, Perdomo was our first one.
Perdomo, that's right.
Esteli.
Yeah, Perdomo. I mean, that's just an eye-opening experience. Your first time to see, seed to finished product, and it's just, Arthur Kemper, president of Perdomo.
He's vice president,
VP?
isn't he? Yeah, I think he's vice president.
Just showing us the ropes, and it was just so educational for us. It was phenomenal. And I mean, we've seen it how many, countless times, this whole process, and every time it's so unique and different. And, it's not the same old every time. It's fantastic. No. I mean, we've done Rocky Patel twice, and both times were just completely different experiences.
So different.
Yeah.
So different. Yeah.
I think it has to do with the people that we take. I mean, how it works typically is we'll take, some of these trips, like the Rocky trip, we've taken up to 16 of our clients with us, and basically you just pay your freight, you pay for your flight and everything else, from food, booze, cigars, transfers, sleeping accommodations, everything's taken care of.
Rum. Don't forget the rum.
Oh, well, we had a lot. Remember when we took the watermelon, we cut the hole in it and put the bottle of rum in it, and oh, Jesus.
And that's when the night started to go off the rails.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But you know what? Every time I gotta tip my hat to our customers, their clients. I mean, these guys don't know anybody. Most of these guys just go on their own and don't know a soul when they get on that plane, and it's a leap of faith for these guys, because they really don't know what the hell they're getting into.
Yeah, and I think the biggest eye opener for these folks is when they get there and realize that it's like cowboy style accommodations. Mm-hmm. You're traveling to the third world. This is not going to Monaco or the French Riviera. You're going to places where the very fact that you have a roof over your head and a bed to sleep in and a blanket and there are screens on the windows, that is considered like the height of luxury.
And the biggest luxury is the guy that's walking around the compound with the 9mm at night to take care of you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good thing too. You're always safe everywhere you go. And I mean, I know that everywhere on all of these trips, if we didn't go anywhere with that cooler of beer on the bus and that humidor filled with cigars. And I mean, it's just it's everybody's very respectful. It's not like grab handfuls of cigars, guys. I mean, it's just they're there. You don't need to grab them and stuff them in your bag, because they give you so much.
Yeah, and I think we should perhaps sort of differentiate about what we're going to cover tonight, because right now we're really covering some of the trips that our suppliers help us to put together and coordinate. And for the people that are interested in those anywhere in Canada, if you're interested in going on one of these cigar junkets that we organize through the store, you just need to contact us, info@victorycigars.ca, and we can certainly put you in touch with how to do that.
And I mean, you can get on our email list and find out when, because we send it out. We just put it out in our constant contact that we have a trip planned, and if you're interested in getting on that trip, it's first come, first serve, and these things fill up really fast. So, get on our email list.
Yeah, and why don't we go over a few more of these junkets we've been on while we're on the topic, because then we can talk a little bit about some of the cigar festivals that are fee for service. And I think that's the big difference. A lot of these cigar junkets, you just pay your airfare, and they're first come, first serve, very difficult to get on. But if your travel, doesn't allow you to have that sort of flexibility to go whenever the junket is, there are some specific festivals coming up that we're going to cover a bit later in the show.
That's right. I think you're right, though. That first Mombacho trip was probably one of the coolest, just for the simple fact that it's in Granada, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This colonial town. I think it's the oldest town in Central America, isn't it?
It is. It is. I think only San Juan, Puerto Rico, gives it a run for its money as far as age goes.
And just to picture it, it's on the it's at the shores of Lake Nicaragua and the foot of the Mombacho volcano, which is always in sight. It's got this street called the Calzada, and both sides just lined with restaurants and bars, and it's all outdoor patios. And typically for me the best part is it's just you get to walk around, and you're completely safe. You're free to do whatever you want. It's dirt cheap for everything there.
Yeah.
And you're typically going there in colder climates, January, February, and it's nice to go somewhere and actually have vegetables again that taste like vegetables,
Oh yeah.
The food is fantastic. It's very, I'm amazed how good the food is, and just the whole experience is really is terrific. The
The
people are
meals are very
fantastic.
balanced too. You notice that you've always got carbs. You've got some meat in the dish. There's always some kind of fresh fruit. Like
Yep.
like you really do get well balanced meals there.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? They're survivors, right? I mean, these people.
They are.
A lot of these people are really singing for their supper, and they are survivors. And the entertainment at night is pretty cool because I mean, you'll go from one patio to another, just try and find the best mojito you can get or what have you, and these people walk up and down the streets at the same time and just entertain you with Buskerville basically every night, and it's fantastic.
Those young guys that were breakdancing,
Yeah, crazy.
they were better than anything I've ever seen. At Times Square, anywhere.
know.
Nobody could compare to these Nicaraguan kids who were just like, I mean, they were on cobblestones for Christ's sake, spinning on their heads.
Oh, it was insane. It was insane. remember when I tried to feed the dog?
He didn't want anything to do with you. I never heard a dog say "no, senor" before, but this dog spoke, man.
Oh yeah, so I went to a store and grabbed some nuts because I thought I'd feed the dog, but then this little kid sat down beside me and he looked hungry, so I offered the nuts to the kid. The kid put one nut in his mouth, he spit it out and shook his head at me. So I tried to feed him to the dog. The frickin' dog wouldn't even eat the nuts. I don't know.
That reminds me of Homer Simpson. Would you like a Brazil nut? We just called them nuts, senor.
Nice. Rocky Patel. Sorry, that phone's buzzing a bit. Sorry. Can you hear that? Sorry about that, Gary.
Yeah, we hear it crystal clear.
Oh,
but
shit.
but it's okay. As long as it's not a vibrator in there.
That's not. It's Jew. It's Jew. It's
Yeah,
all
no
Jew.
problem.
What else? Rocky Patel. Cigar Safari was just
It's all the things you don't expect. Rocky Patel, the first time we went, it was great. Learning we're all about El Paraíso, seeing the plantations, seeing the factory. But the second time when we took a group of customers, when they said, "Do you want to go to Nicaragua as well?" And we said, "Okay, sure." And we weren't really looking forward to a 3-hour bus ride all the way from Honduras, but thought it would be worth it. And man, don't we knock on the door of the factory, and who opens the door?
Rocky Patel himself.
Yeah,
it
and
was
the
off the
guy
charts.
was just a complete gentleman.
Yeah.
Took us out to dinner in a restaurant.
Yep. And then we did the complete factory tour in the afternoon with us. Went to the fields. Went everywhere.
Everywhere.
And who else came up? Who else came by there? There was one of the Fuentes. Was it?
No,
Who was it?
No, it wasn't one of the Fuentes. It was wasn't it one of the Padrones?
Yeah, you're right. I think
it was one of the Padron family came by.
Yeah, just dropping by. Pretty cool stuff, and really treat you well. And I thought the whole experience of crossing the border in a bus at a border going from Honduras to Nicaragua was pretty awesome.
Giving up my passport and it vanishing into an office for a while, I got to tell you, that left me a little bit uncertain.
They take your temperature from your ear.
Kevin asked to have a different temperature change.
As they're doing that, there's a guy that just completely fogs the bus with gas to kill any sort of mites or bugs or anything that are in there. I don't know what we got from that, but that was crazy.
And meanwhile, so they're fogging the bus, right? But did you not see on either side of it was sheer hills with jungle all over? Like the bugs were just running across the hill anyway. I don't quite understand it.
And when he left, they went back in.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't see a ton of bugs, but it was a cool spot. There was trucks lined up for miles trying to get through this border crossing. It was really cool.
And remember seeing there was a motorcycle with Colombian license plates on it? Like those people were on quite the junket.
Yeah, that's an insane drive.
Yeah.
All the way up through Panama and everywhere else.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Colombian license plates, I got to figure that's a invitation for a cavity search at every border crossing.
Narcos. Say hello to my little friend. What else? Dominican, the DR one. We went with STG to do the general tour. Again, it's completely different.
Very different.
Esteli. It has a different feel from anywhere in Honduras, and Dominican had a completely different feel as well.
If I had to compare the two, I would say Esteli felt like being in the Old West. When you were in Santiago in the Dominican, it's much more cosmopolitan.
Absolutely.
More like Fort Lauderdale feel almost. Not Los Olas Boulevard, but, that whole feeling of more construction, condos,
traffic
and stuff.
like crazy.
Yeah, like the Nicaraguan hotels, swimming pool, it just doesn't compare to the rooftop pool that that they had in the Dominican Republic. It's just unbelievable.
And then you go through the worst slums in the history of time in Santiago to climb all the way to the top of the highest peak in Santiago to a place called Camp David.
Camp David.
Yeah, this fantastic restaurant right on the top of this hill, and oh my God, what a view of the entire city! It was just phenomenal.
And who was the president? Trujillo, who was the president at one time, and they had his armored limousine that was, and I guess it's his family owns that restaurant still to this day. The dictator's family is part of that.
Well, part of that area it was a U.S. base, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it was
right.
part of. I think it's part of a U.S. base. And the coolest spot, I mean, for me, I mean, that experience when we went to that, drove through, slum after slum to this, and then we went to this restaurant they had set up for us, and it was like this diamond in the rough where it was just this amazing, sort of a fusion restaurant with this amazing decor, you name it, they made it or they had it, and it was phenomenal. A smoking lounge and inside, and then you had your eating area. I mean, I sat there at one point. Carlito Fuente walked in, had a chat with him, and then Lito Gomez walked in, had a chat with him. It was just like the who's who of.
You were like a schoolgirl at a Justin Bieber concert when those guys were.
Oh yeah, man, those are my kind of guys. That's wicked, man. I mean, just smoking. It was awesome,
That was the thing too, seeing an incredible wine cellar as you walk by, and everybody's enjoying a cigar inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's
civilized. Nobody was stabbing anybody. No one was getting killed. No one was going berserk, crazy, or anything like that. Ontario, wake the hell up.
Wake up.
I mean,
at least let us get a permit. Throw us a smoke signal or something.
I mean, it just seems so simple. I mean, if it's a cigar bar or a cigar lounge, if you don't like it, don't go in. It's that simple, isn't it?
It's very easy. It's really natural selection 101.
I don't get it. So as we chat on, I'm looking at the time here, and holy crap! I mean, time just flies. We could do this for about 2 hours.
I think we could. We better get to break so that we can do something with our festival.
Yeah, for sure. Just let everybody know you're listening to the Canadian Cigar Scene on Reality Radio 101.
Street and I hardly know you. It's just like
Welcome to One Love Caribbean Groceries and African Foods, located at 595 King Street East, Wilson and King Street in Oshawa. They carry a wide variety of delicious tropical fruits, vegetables, spices, halal meats, fresh fish, fresh roti, patties, cosmetics, and much, much more. Their friendly staff will be happy to serve you with all your West Indian grocery needs. One Love Caribbean Groceries, located at 595 King Street East, just a few steps east of Wilson on King Street in Oshawa. Their telephone number is 905-440-4632. That's 905-440-4632.
Put the special into your special event. With our finger on the pulse of today's event scene, we provide for all your entertainment needs. Amuse and amaze with look-alike performers, illusionists, and interactive entertainment. Fill the air with jazz, dance music, classic rock, Latin, and disco. Thrill your guests with tarot and psychic readings. And treat the kids with children's entertainers, face painting, inflatables, and more. When your reputation is on the stage, let our reputation for excellence earn you a standing ovation. For more information, visit aratoevents.com.
The following program may contain adult language and mature subject matter and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome back to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts, Julian, Luke, and Kevin Newell, right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact us by email us right now, realityradio101@yahoo.com.
you used to beg me to take.
And now, right back to your hosts, Kevin Newell and Julian Luke.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. If we could only sound that slick, eh, Jew?
Oh, I just wish.
Man, it's impossible. You're a beauty there, Gary. You're a beauty. Victory Cigars events. Shall we do those?
Yes, please. And folks, get a pencil to jot these down. You might want to remember some of them.
First off, this weekend is Thanksgiving in Canada. So Monday we will be closed. Woohoo! So get prepared, people. We are closed on Monday. People bust my balls every Tuesday. They come in and say, "What do you mean you were closed?"
I know, you took a day off.
Oh,
That's
my
one of
God.
11 a year.
We're closed 11 days a year, and
Yeah.
someone busts my balls for it.
Okay.
Gene. The week after, the next Saturday after that, Saturday, October 17th, we have our first real cigar accessories event that we're going to have.
This is our biggie.
Yeah, it's
This
going
is
to
a
be
biggie.
huge. We have Rich Gambino coming in from Zycar. He's one of the national sales reps for Zycar. He's coming up from the States, and he's going to be featuring a lot of new products. I think he's going to be bringing a bunch of new products. We're also going to be featuring Brickhouse and J.C. Newman cigars.
Beautiful.
So it's going to be a beauty. He's bringing a ton of free swag, so put that down for sure. Hard to believe, but November 20th, we will be celebrating our 6th anniversary at Victory Cigars.
Where has the time gone?
It flies, doesn't it? Crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Crazy.
It does.
Cigar scene happenings?
Well, pretty much the same thing we mentioned over the past couple of weeks. Just want to remind people that Mombacho Cigars is having their 10th anniversary party at Casa Favili in January 2016. If you go to mombachocigars.ca, you ought to be able to find some information about that. And the Big Smoke Las Vegas, November 13th through 15th. Tickets are available at cigaraficionado.com. And lastly, because of we've given this gentleman a shout out once before, but all this talk about traveling down south to Nicaraguan places made us think of our friend Joe Moon at Cigar and McLeod Trail Southeast in Calgary. So Joe, if you're listening, thinking of your brother, and you're a hell of a tobacconist. If you folks are going to Calgary, check him out on the web, www.zigarren.ca, zagarin.ca.
Yeah, stop in and see a shop. I've been in there, and it's fantastic. I've never seen a humidor stack like that. It's beyond belief, really.
He's crazy.
Yeah, he's a crazy
He's
man.
just crazy.
Yeah, he's a great guy, too. Just go back on Mombacho there for a second. I was looking at, first off, as the sort of a tie-in with Mombacho, congratulations to the Jays for winning the American League East last week.
Yes.
How awesome was that?
That was beautiful.
And I'm not sure if anybody was noticing the celly that the boys were having in the room afterwards. Did you notice the cigars that were going?
Let me guess. Yellow Band?
You betcha.
No way.
Yeah, Mombacho. Yeah,
I don't know how those guys do it.
You know what? I got right on the phone, and I got right on my cell, and I text Marcus from Mombacho and said, "How the hell did you do that?" And he said that he got a hold of Joey Batts, and Joey told him where to send the cigars down in Baltimore, and got him down there earlier in the week, and had it all set up for the guys.
Hey, that's amazing to see a Canadian company take that kind of initiative and make that happen.
Yeah, that's right. It's fantastic.
That's beautiful.
And you know what? They had a really nice shout out in this latest edition of Cigar Snob magazine. I noticed that their big party that they had hosted on the Friday night of the IPCPR, they had some great coverage in Cigar Snob. If you take a look in the back there, they had
Lots of pics.
Yeah,
Matt was there. Maria was there.
Yep, and they also got a really good rating in
on Terra Volcan.
Terra Volcan,
I think,
yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
right. Yep,
91, or sorry, 89.
89. And they got a mention as well for being one of the newcomers in the cigar industry, as well as one of the people that's going to be one of those companies to watch.
That's
so
the folks
you know
from
what?
Cigar Snob obviously have good taste. They're impressed with these guys.
Well, they know what they're doing. They got an honorable mention. They said they're stepped into the big leagues with their show this year at the IPCPR. So good for those guys. I'd also be remiss if I didn't say I do quite well as well with the other Canadian cigar company, Black Lotus, with Dominion Cigars.
Yes.
Black Lotus and
They're
their
out of BC, aren't they?
Yeah, out of BC. Yeah, Steve and the boys doing a great job. He's blended that Black Lotus with Ralph Montero from Alec Bradley.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he came up with a second blend himself, the Florida Claro, which is fantastic. It's one of my favorite new cigars. Really, I really like that. It's 52 ring gauge. I'm sorry, 54 ring gauge for a Robusto, which is a little bit bigger, so you get a little bit more smoke out of it, a little more volume.
Yeah.
Really nice cigar, and we're doing a really cool contest. What you have to do is just come into the shop and buy if you pick up one of their cigars, keep the band, put your name on the back of the band, and send it back to the company, and you get put in the draw that closes October 28th for a fantastic Black Lotus guitar that Steve had made.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think it's retail. I mean, it sells for about $1,500, this guitar. So, if you get a chance, go to your tobacconist, and this is open to anybody. So go to your local tobacconist, your B&M, and pick up a Dominion cigar.
Beautiful. All right, we better cover some of these festivals as we promised people.
That's
because
First,
they're first coming.
First on the docket is January.
Yeah, January, the Nicaraguan Cigar Festival. And I think this is one that people probably haven't heard anything about before. It's not on people's radar. But Nicaragua being the hotbed of cigars that it is, this one's well worth considering. Do you have the dates on that one, Kevin?
Yeah, it's January 12th to the 16th. Puro Sabor.
Puro Sabor. And approximate cost to attend?
You're looking at about $1,300 plus airfare.
Okay, so not inexpensive, and different from the junkets we mentioned earlier, where if you come to the Victory Cigars and get on one of the junkets we organize through a supplier, generally it's just your airfare. These are junkets that anybody can go on. Anybody from anywhere in the world can go on.
So what do you get for your money?
Well, okay, so this one, I have not been to this one because it's a relatively new festival, but I got to tell you, of all the festivals we're going to look at tonight, I think this one looks incredible.
It's the 5th international, actually.
Yeah.
5th one.
Day one, you arrive at the airport, they put you immediately in the VIP lounge, and then you're set up at a hotel in Managua.
Probably Camino Royale.
Probably
which
Camino
is attached
Royale.
to
the Faro Casino. Yes.
Never been there.
Never been there.
Never dropped a dime there.
So, I like that fact that, for day one, they let you get settled in. Day two, you're off to test rum, Florida Caña. You're going to Chichigalpa, which is a little town that blends this world-class rum. They're going to pair the rums with various cigars, and that's what your whole day is about. So pretty much getting liquored up. And I think there's an equestrian show, but you'll be too gunned by the by the end of that.
I don't know if you've ever had Florida Caña, but it is available in the liquor store LCBO. This rum is
delish.
Yeah.
So day three, you head north from Managua, but going to be a couple-hour bus ride up to Esteli. This sounds off the charts. After you do lunch at the Rocky Patel place, you go on a grand tour of the factories, and they're naming the following factories: A.J. Fernandez, Drew Estate, Hoya, My Father, Oliva, Padron, Plasencia, and Scandinavian Tobacco Group. You're going to all those families as part of that. And then that night they have the white party, which I guess is your chance to be politically incorrect after Labor Day.
I guess so.
Have to get those white shoes and white shoe polish out. And then day four, Plantation and Factories Tour. They, a little bit more of the same. But the neatest thing about this day, they have a dinner, an evening conversation with the Nicaragua tobacco legends. So you might have Mr. Padron there.
George.
You'll have all the legends of the tobacco industry sitting down and just chatting about what it was like after the Civil War, like a real history lesson.
And we've talked to a lot of these guys, and they're just such down-to-earth people. Great to talk to and very informative. I mean, any question you have, they answer, So
and
really
they're jazzed about this. So that's January 12th to the 16th. You can find them online, Nicaraguan Cigar Festival, about $1,300 Canadian plus your airfare.
Well worth it.
Okay, next.
Next is ProCigar. ProCigar is a Dominican festival. This is it starts out in
Feb 21st in Punta Cana.
In Punta Cana, that's where it starts. Oh yeah, that's right. This one tends to be a little bit more expensive. First off, you start out from the 21st of February to the 23rd in Punta Cana, and then you travel on to Santiago from the 24th to the 26th. Now, do you have to do the whole tour?
No, the first part of it is actually more of doing eco tours and checking out stuff in Punta Cana, being on the beach, and it's pricey. I mean, the hotels are, I think, a single person, it's $480 US per night. It's an all-inclusive resort you're in. So, that's where you would stay for that. But if you wanted, you could opt just to fly into Santiago and go the 24th to the 26th.
So you could cut it in half sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think the first, really, there's golf, there's beach day, there's, one day you can get to go to the Tabacalera de Garcia factory tour.
And that's all the first part, that's all Punta Cana area.
Okay.
But then when you get on the bus and travel to to Santiago, is different.
Then there's the options from the Wednesday to the Saturday to do the La Aurora factory tour, General Cigar factory tour, which we did I must say it was fantastic.
Yeah,
Davidoff factory tour, Tabacalera Palma factory tour, Casada Cigar factory tour. It just goes on and on. I mean, again, you can do I mean, La Flor Dominicana. You can actually do 2 or 3 of these different. There's options. It gives you every day, so it's pretty cool. They also have a white dinner as well on the Friday night. On the Saturday, they have field tours again to De Los Reyes and de Bacalar de Garcia, and then they finish off with options of a beach day or a catamaran and snorkeling, or you can also go in the ProCigar poker tournament for charity, which
lots of different stuff.
Yeah.
And we have not been to this. We've been to Santiago and we've been to Punta Cana, but we have not been to this particular festival. A lot of people are telling us that this festival is off the charts. It's really good.
Yeah.
However, it is not cheap.
No.
So be prepared.
That's
and
right.
you can go to ProCigar.com, I believe. Not 100% positive that's the URL, but if you just put Pro Cigar Festival 2016 into a search engine, you will find it.
Yeah, that'll pop up for you. And the final of the 3 biggies is the Habanos Festival. This is the 18th annual Habanos Festival, and I think this is the 50th year. They're celebrating the 50th. What is it?
50 years of Cohiba.
50 years of Cohiba. Wow, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Eh? Jeez. This is based in Havana, Cuba. Basically, its dates are from February 29th to March 4th. Now, so it's a week long. Again, you don't have to catch the whole week for this festival.
It's like Pro Cigar. It's much more a la carte. You can you've got to pay for your airfare separate. You've got to pay for your hotel separate. You've got to pay for your meal separate. So you can go for as many or as few days as you want, and then every different event is a different price.
That's right. Just looking at a few of the things you can do the famous factory tours. You can check out. There's trade fairs and seminars. There's actually a really cool thing that they do is the International Habanos Sommelier Contest, where they, people, I'm not sure how many people are involved in the contest, but they give them the cigar and they have to tell them what the cigar components are, when it was made, what type of cigar it is. I mean, it's phenomenal.
That would be tough.
Yeah,
that would be tough.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, this is the granddaddy of all festivals.
Yeah.
The oldest, the biggest, probably the most expensive. They have a $700,000 auction that raises money for the Cuban health system. You're probably going to find that I think last year Paris Hilton and there was a supermodel was there as well. I mean, they get some high-end person. Well, I shouldn't say high-end personalities. Paris Hilton,
Schwarzenegger and Jim
like
Belushi, and
they would all go to this.
yeah,
at one time
that's
or
right.
another.
Also, I think we're getting the boot. I mean, we're talking tons. We're talking over 1,300 people typically go to this. So another thing you might want to look at, folks. Wow, we just ran through a ton of shit tonight.
We just blew through it. We better tell people that next week we got Rich Gambino from Zycar. Not sure if we're going to have him in studio or if he's going to phone in. And something brand new for Canadian cigar scene. We're going to have the Maple Sons, live entertainment duo in the studio.
Canadian boys in the
Yes,
house.
in the house.
Just to let everybody know, you are listening to Canadian Cigar Scene. You can contact us at radio@victorycigars.ca. Twitter, Horatio. Check them out. That's Julian at Victory Cigars. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. And you can go to cigarscene.ca to see upcoming guests, and we can get past shows as well, right?
Yes.
All right. So we are off to go golfing for a couple of days.
Off we are.
So kicking your ass.
You're so done. You're so
So
done.
kicking your ass. Thanks a lot for everybody for listening, and it is time to have a cigar.
You've been listening to Canadian Cigar Scene with your hosts Julian Luke and Kevin Newell, right here on Reality Radio 101.